The trouble with loyalty to a cause is that the cause will always betray you.
Alright, so, didn't make a video yesterday. Today's Wednesday, by the way. For those of you who are caught up in the time flux, today is Wednesday. I didn't make a video yesterday. Making 2 videos today. Not going to post either of them. I'll make a video tomorrow, edit all 3, post all 3. You'll get 3 videos on Thursday, but only if you're watching on Rumble, because I can't post anything to YouTube until Saturday at the earliest. However, I am going to be saving all of the videos from this week in a file, and I will post them all on like Saturday or some shit like that. Right? Anyways. So, they came out with a report. I don't think it was the IOC. I think it was some other... I don't remember who it was that actually published the report. But a bunch of scientists got together and said, hey, we're questioning this whole fire thing. And we really want to dive into it and see if fire can actually be made and if it is actually useful to mankind. And so they took all of the stats of men and women in sports and they plotted it all out on a graph and went, holy shit, men are routinely like twice as good as women at sports. It's crazy. Sometimes men are shittier than women. Sometimes women are almost as good as, like getting up there as men. But men just, it's out of control, man. Like there's a serious advantage to being a man in sports. So now everybody's like, well, holy shit, we actually have the numbers. But I just don't feel like the numbers really reflect reality. Okay. So yeah. So now the IOC, because I think the Olympics are going to be in LA or some shit like that. And so, because Donald Trump, we gotta really like think about, this whole like transgender boxers and shit, because like that didn't go over well. And now there's this report that really proves that, man, there really is a difference. So I don't know, we might have to think about this shit. So they're thinking about banning, or they are banning transgender people from competing. When the first man looked at the first woman and said, what are those? We discovered that men and women are fucking different. Right? Both in the fact that he went, what are those? And pointed downwards doing it. You're shorter than me. What are those? Oh my gosh, we're different. Fucking amazing. And here we are, depending on what you believe, anywhere from 1.9 bajillion badillions of years, or 6,000 years, or, if you're a person like me, you honestly think that the world is about 46 to 47 years old, because as far as I'm concerned, none of this shit existed until I did, and the world is going to end abruptly the day that I die, because all of you will cease to exist once I am gone. So, you know what I mean? All depending where you lie in the whole, however old the world is, since that day, all the way back then. After the dinosaurs died and all the dust kicked up in the air from the impact of the asteroid and the ice age, the dinosaurs all die, and then we just kind of like sprouted up out of the ground, and here we are now, right? And we became the thing or whatever. Or we were dolphins and now we're fucking people, or we were monkeys and now we're people, or we were pigs and now we're people, or whatever the fuck it was. We're so close to so many animals, but nevertheless, somehow, some way, we all go, or a guy went, you're there, and bam, we were fucking there. We've known. There's fucking differences between us, bitch. Like, I am so, like, of all the things in the world, this thing frustrates me the most. Because it is the... You think flat earth frustrates me more than this shit? No. No, you're very wrong. It took us quite a while to get to the point where we were ultimately questioning, hey, what are things outside of what I can fucking see? Like, what is that shit? Like, I'm curious about some stuff. Well, what do you see up there? Like a bunch of dots. What the fuck are these dots? Like, it took us a long time to get to the point where we actually figured that shit out. Men and women being different are immediate fucking recognition. We needed it to be that way in order for us to get to the point where we didn't die off after person 1 and person 2. We had to figure out how to mate. And I imagine the lucky guy that figured out tab A into slot bitch. Right? Like... But now we actually have a study, finally, because God knows we don't have any other studies about the differences between men and women. It's just never been a question in any realistic way that we haven't already fucking beat to death. Well, yeah, we understand we're different, but we got to figure out how. We got to quantify it mathematically. You know, like, that's some nerd shit. Like, I can understand that. But, oh my gosh, I don't know. Maybe there's differences. Maybe part of the thing that should have clued you in was, what is the problem? When men say, oh, I'm a woman, I want to play with the girls. That's a problem. How often, if ever, has there been an occasion where somebody has said, that fucking girl dresses up like a dude and goes and plays sports with the guys, and they're stealing all the trophies? Has that ever happened? Is this a problem at all? Oh my gosh, there's this chick changing in a men's dressing room, flashing around her pussy, and the dudes are upset. Is this a fucking problem? No, it's never a fucking problem. Why is it never a problem? Because there's fundamental differences physically in sports with men and women. Get it? Like, the fact that this thing is existence is so one-sided. This whole issue is about dudes getting into sports with girls. Nobody cares about it the other way. This is how you know. That is the fucking proof of concept. Right there! But thank God we have a study. Man, I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, if I was a scientist, if I studied hard in grade school because my parents told me that I had to, and then I studied hard in middle school because my parents told me that I had to, and then in middle school, somewhere along the way, I found that research science, for whatever reason, or high school, I figured out research science. Man, that's going to be my thing. And I really got into sociology and anthropology, and I got really big into, you know, principles of democracy and theoretical philosophies about whatever the fuck. Like, I got into all of this stuff, and I really like researching. I love looking stuff up, and like, I'm a big nerd. I want to quantify everything with numbers, right? And I'm going to go to college, and I'm going to take, like, real classes, not, like, feminist studies or whatever the fuck. I'm going to actually do science and shit, and I'm going to fucking do research. Like, I want to get in a lab, and then I get in this lab, and after decades of hard work and money and sleepless nights and cramming for tests, and oh my god, I failed. Oh my, I can't party anymore. You only ever went to one party, I know, and then I failed a test the next day. I can never do this again. My life is far more important to me than just fucking around and pissing shit away. And I finally get into a lab. Oh, I'm going to be doing sports research. So fun. I get to do, I like sports, right? And then my boss comes in one day and says, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna buckle down and do some hefty research here. We're going to have to watch a lot of sports. And we're going to have to, judge performances of all manner of different men and women. Oh, I'd be saying, oh, this is so great. What are we going to do? Because we got to figure out if there's a difference between men and women in sports. And I'd be like, what the fuck? I put all this time and effort into myself to get into this career. And you want me to reinvent the fucking wheel? Vicious shit goes round and round. Like, what? We're gonna buckle down and do a lot of research into whether or not there's a difference between men and women in sports. I'll save us all the time and fucking money. Yes. Like, dude, I would be so fucking pissed if I had to work on that project. You're pulling me off of fucking actual research that's gonna fucking mean something somewhere to somebody and somehow to rediscover the shit that we've known for thousands of years, millions of years, quadrillions of years. 46 years ago, we figured it out. And we gotta figure it out again. Well, hopefully they keep a copy of this this all-important fucking paper on file so that everybody can see it whenever they need to and still fucking ignore it whenever they just decide they want to push a stupid political thing to just be retarded. Yay.